Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another edition of the Bill Crane Report with Duane Weiss right at my side. Special pre-election. We are on, this is November 1st that we're taping this.
You may have already voted at the election, maybe you're already past history time you see this, but maybe not.
And we're also going to go out on a limb and make fearless predictions.
Oh, yeah.
And also, we are wearing our Army hats today in honor of Veterans Day, November 11th. So, we also have a special guest today. Huma Abedin is with us, and she has her friend Hillary Clinton
Her mentor.
also.
Her mentor.
Her mentor. Yeah. Yes. So, welcome, Huma. She is Hillary Clinton's top advisor and is by Mrs. Clinton's side constantly. She's 40 years old, the daughter of an Indian man and a Pakistani mother. She's married to a pervert, Anthony Weiner, a very sorry excuse for a human being.
Got that right.
So this is about all we know about Miss Abedin. Yet, she stands to be perhaps the second most powerful person in this country if Hillary Clinton is elected. So to put that statement in perspective, suppose there is a crisis. Who will Mrs. Clinton turn to for advice? Vice President Tim Kaine?
Hardly.
Her husband, former President Bill Clinton? Or Huma? Answer, she doesn't even know Tim Kaine.
No.
Her husband acts like the fourth member of the Three Stooges, Slapsy. So it's Huma, by default. How's that make you feel?
She's going to be in a very, very powerful position.
You don't know who the hell she is.
Inside track.
You got no idea who she is, where she's coming from. So now the $64,000 question. What do we know of Miss Huma? Nothing. We know the same amount about her as we know about Obama's secret advisor, Valerie Jarrett.
That's right.
And I'll be willing to bet you if we asked everyone watching this show who Valerie Jarrett is, we wouldn't get 3 correct answers.
No,
and yet, Valerie Jarrett is at the White House every night with President Obama and Mrs. Obama. And that troika runs the country. How's that make you feel, folks? Doesn't do much for me, I'll tell you. So, so now do you understand what Mrs. Clinton means and Obama means when they talk of clear and transparent government?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. They mean obfuscation is what they mean. Interesting things happened in the last couple of days, sir.
Certainly has.
FBI Director James Comey.
It's 24/7.
And Attorney General Loretta Lynch have a chat. Now, and we're up in the air now. We don't know whether it was nose to nose or there was an intermediary. One news service seems to think it was an intermediary. That must have been quite a chat, huh?
I'll bet it was.
Now, Fox reported this morning that she said, either through the intermediary or directly, you're off the reservation here with this. This is not protocol for you to be releasing the fact that the FBI has found more emails and this is not something that should be publicized so soon before the election. Allegedly, Mr. Comey said, "Are you telling me not to speak about this?" And she said, "No, I'm not."
But you ever notice how it changes? Depends on whose ox is being gored.
Oh, yes.
Back when he said, well, she was careless, but there was nothing criminal. She gloated and she thought he was the best guy in the world. Now all of a sudden, it's switched around.
Yeah, and don't you think he is now having buyer's regret about having said that?
He's trying to save his
exactly
reputation
right.
and save the bureau.
Yeah. Now he's FBI director through 2023.
Yep.
And she would have to demand his resignation, and I don't think he has to give it. I don't know.
Not, but it would be a unprecedented shakeup. Just unbelievable.
Unprecedented is right. So that's interesting. Donna Brazil.
Well, you come up with some real winners today.
I do. I have a list of them. Another serial liar is exposed.
Jeez.
They ran a clip of her denying anything. And who are you to be accusing me of passing along questions to Hillary Clinton?
If I ever saw the old thing, a deer in the headlights, that was her.
Let me tell you something.
She was stuttering and stammering.
Yep. Remember Pinocchio?
Yep.
Her nose grew 11 feet during that denial. But they've got her 9 ways to Sunday. Mm-hmm. It's very, very interesting that there is 2 questions that she fed Hillary Clinton. Number one...
There's 3 now.
Yeah, there's a third one, yeah. The body of the email read, her family has lead poison, and she will ask, if anything, will Hillary do what Hillary will do as president to help the poor people of Flint, Michigan. Okay, so that question was given to Hillary.
Of course it was.
And sure enough,
Yep.
Lee Ann Walters, a mother from Flint, got up and said those exact words.
Yep.
Later, another question was given to her at a different town meeting, and it says, a text from a question that worries me about HRC, Brazil wrote to Podesta, relating to the death penalty. The next night, a questioner indeed asked Clinton about the death penalty. So, I mean, there's the 2 bodies lying right there on the floor, and now there's a third question.
Third one in the hopper.
Yep. So, how does Hillary Clinton stand up in front of the U.S., the people, and say, look at my hands, they're clean?
Oh, yeah. That's...
But you know what? What this really points out is something that is absolutely, to my mind, amazing.
Oh.
That woman has not had a press conference since January.
Yep.
Not one. Now, there was that stupid one at the airport where the 4 females, you never saw them, reporters, were off camera, and they went bing, and then she said, Doris, bing, Luann, bing, Marianne, bing, and they all had 4 softballs for her, and she smiled at them and everything, and, oh, gotta go, and she called that a press conference.
Yeah, I think she also thinks she's doing a press conference when she stands in the aisle of that airplane.
Yeah.
And talks to a camera.
Yeah. In a very well-rehearsed dog and pony show. But here's a woman that conceivably could be elected president of the United States
scary.
Ever, not once this year, looking at the American people and talking to them.
No sense of ethics
No.
or fairness or nothing. Just look you right in the eye and lie right to you. And you know what? My Jewish friends had a word for that. It's called chutzpah.
Chutzpah.
Chutzpah. And I asked what that meant, and he says, that's a kid who kills his parents, then pleads to the judge for leniency because he's an orphan.
Exactly. But you see, she has this sense as though she's royalty.
Oh, yeah.
This is all very deserving. She's slugged it out for 30 years, fought the good fight for women, and now it's her turn. And she will not be denied, nor should she be denied. It's hers now by divine right.
Yep, that's right.
And as such, she is not going to talk to the hoi polloi.
No, the great unwashed. That's what we are.
Exactly right. And Donna Brazile,
Oh, my God.
just unbelievable. But this is really good. When Josh Earnest, the press secretary for the president,
I can't stand him.
was asked about Donna Brazile, he said, when asked if the president believes she's done a fine job, when asked about the hacked emails, Josh Earnest said, no, the president believes she has done a fine job stepping in during a very difficult situation to lead the Democratic Party. She is a person of high character. She is a true professional who is a tenacious and effective advocate for Democrats. Now let's stop right there, shall we?
Okay.
A true professional who is a tenacious and effective advocate for Democrats. Okay, folks, for you folks that may have missed a little bit of that, that means that she shows both guns in defense of Democrats.
Yeah.
Pulls them both out and starts shooting. How, in God's name, can she be appointed as the moderator at a debate when she is, in Josh Earnest's words, a effective advocate for the Democrats?
Oh, it's
tenacious.
It's chutzpah again.
I mean, mother of all creatures, large and small. It is impossible to believe they couldn't have found anyone more partisan, a Democrat, in the country than her, and
That's
they
right.
appoint her and say, isn't this great?
We're sure we can safely go out on a limb here that something is going to be transpired by the time you see this, and we're sitting here today.
Yeah.
Because we have another 7 days, so it's a week from today, I think.
I think so. Well, I think there's going to be another set of Wikileaks come out, and I think they're probably holding back the beauty of all beauties. These are the people that had Democratic operatives go into the crowd and try to goad the Trump people into fights.
Yeah. Oh,
Two of them resigned, quit, walked away, and but the Democrats say, our hands are clean. Oh, those two guys? I don't know who they were.
They're just like they're like Teflon coated. Nothing sticks to them.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want.
It's just unbelievable. And this is good too. In a study conducted by Media Research Center of TV Coverage during the election, the Media Center for TV Coverage, a whopping 91% of Trump coverage was hostile towards him, compared to a small fraction of negative stories on Clinton.
It's incredible.
Can you imagine if the umpires made 91% of bad calls against the Cleveland Indians?
Yep. Oh.
And let the Cubs skate?
Sure.
There'd be lynchings, for heaven's sakes.
I used to look forward to go out in the garage, or off the driveway, and get the Globe that morning. I told my wife, every day there's an anti-Trump headline above the fold in great big headlines. And every day I'd say, what are they going to think of tomorrow? Then I thought, I wonder how big a crew they've got just to be anti-Trump. And only one time in the letters to the editor, there was a little short thing somebody wrote, come on, Globe, at least be a little fair. And that's the only one they ever printed like that.
It's almost impossible to believe. Now, an unnamed senior Justice Department official is, according to this article, is the person who urged FBI Director James Comey not to inform Congress. And by implication, the American people, that the investigation of Hillary Clinton's private email server had been reopened because it was too close to the election.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad.
But they don't want to do this, but Bill Clinton talking to her on the tarmac at the airport, well, listen, they were talking about their grandkids in this golf game.
Of course they were.
There wasn't anything untoward going on.
Nope.
Good grief.
But you know, the only saving grace, this whole thing's coming to a close.
It is.
And it's coming fast. That's
Well, the ABC poll this morning on Fox
yeah. I didn't see that. You did
Yep.
because I didn't
showed
watch TV.
Trump 46, Hillary 45, Johnson 3, and Stein 2. Now, if those numbers are what they've reported, there's an awful lot of people that I don't think are telling the truth about the fact they don't want anybody to write down on a chart someplace, okay, Mr. Weiss said he's voting for Trump.
Right.
So they either refuse to answer, or they say Hillary, or they say they're one of the independents.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I think that if we look at this poll, I think that Trump probably's got a 3 or 4 point lead.
It's very possible because you got to look at Trump supporters. For a lot of them, are not the kind that, just like you said, want to be in the spotlight. I am what I am, and if they ask a poll question, they're not going to answer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they never get asked. That's another thing.
Yeah, because there is so much rancor in this election. It's incredible. And you know something else, and I've said this time and time again, I'm going to say it one more time. If it were not for abortion,
Yep.
Hillary Clinton would merely be an asterisk in a history book someplace, following Bill Clinton's name with the explanation, wife of the former president.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a horse that she has ridden her entire life. Women's health, abortion,
Yeah.
abortion, 24/7. But Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Hillary Clinton have said abortion should be legal, safe, and rare. What has she ever done about making abortion rare?
No, she's up front with it.
24/7.
Yep.
So, I mean, she says one thing and does another. And there you go. There's her public opinion and her private opinion. More examples of Hillary doublespeak here. I got a couple here that are pips. Hillary said stop and frisk had no effect in New York City.
Contraire.
When Rudy Giuliani put stop and frisk into practice, murders dropped 80%. 75% drop in serious crimes. Now, you told me that is no effect?
No, it was very effective.
Very effective is right.
Extremely effective. The problem was that one side says we have to do something about this crime. When you do something, then you say, oh, you're picking on a certain group.
Yeah. Well, that certain group is doing the crimes.
That's right.
They're called criminals.
Yeah.
And also, she also maintained that stop and frisk is not legal. Well, in 1968, Terry versus the Ohio Supreme Court.
Yep.
Terry versus Ohio. The U.S. Supreme Court said stop and frisk as legal and constitutional as a tool to control crime. And the other thing, too, that I really got a kick out of was a little more doublespeak from Hillary. She did not like Donald Trump interrupting her during the debates, which I thought was stupid. He should have kept his mouth shut. But
Yeah, a couple times he shot himself in the foot by doing that.
But she said he was rude and sexist by interrupting her in the debate. I thought she wanted to be an equal. That was what she was striving for. She wanted to be treated equally, wanted to be treated the same as a man. What? I don't understand that.
Yeah, because there was one time where the moderator had her on the ropes. He asked a very pointed question, and she was dodging and weaving. And Trump had to stick his nose in there and put his comment in, and that gave her an out. She just escaped.
He's just screwed up too many times. The best writer in Boston on any of the papers is Joe Fitzgerald for the Herald.
Yeah, he's good.
I'm not going to read you the whole article. It's great.
Right.
He said, would a guy solicit your vote simply because he's a man? No.
No, of course not.
Then why should you vote for a woman based on nothing more than gender? And then he said, in accepting her nomination at the Democratic National Convention, Hillary shamelessly played the gender card, pleading, if you believe your working wife, mother, sister, or daughter deserves equal pay, join us. Does she not realize conservatives and Republicans have mothers, sisters, and daughters they passionately want the best for, too? No, she delusionally believes she's cornered the market on fairness. And now she yearns to be president, which is the last thing this country needs. What we need is a great president, gender notwithstanding. That's a not too subtle difference she clearly does not understand.
Yep, she doesn't.
Yeah. And he wrote another article a couple of weeks afterwards. She's obviously correct in pointing out she would be our first woman president, just as our current commander-in-chief was right when he wooed the electorate by envisioning himself as our first black president. Ask yourself, how has that worked out?
Yeah. That's just like with the gender issue. So many voted for him because he was black. I don't know what that had to do with it, but it was an issue.
Yeah.
A big issue.
Yeah. But again, he repeats himself. The last thing America needs is a woman president. But a great president who's a woman, that's different.
Yep.
Meanwhile, anyone voting for Hillary because she's a woman is as much of a knucklehead as anyone voting against her for the same reason.
That's right.
I thought that
That's very well put.
that is about as well put as you can get.
It is.
I suppose we have to, well, I'm going to make a prediction.
Okay, go ahead.
And you and I talked about this on the phone. If Hillary wins, Obama will pardon her and her whole team.
Yep.
So that she can start with a clean slate. If she loses, he will do the same, so that they won't be hounded to death.
Yeah.
Now, I have prediction.
Okay.
Clinton, Trump.
Trump.
Yeah.
3 days ago, I would have said Clinton.
I have Trump by 3%.
Yep. I'd said, and I think that's recent for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a huge change.
Oh, you can almost feel it, the shift.
Yeah. Yeah. They and one of the talking heads on Fox News, who is a Democratic advisor, and he's a real good guy, and you can see him shifting through this whole process. He said this morning, he said that he is definitely not voting for Hillary Clinton.
I think next few days you're going to see more and more of that.
I think so too, and I think probably a lot of them won't come out and say it, but a lot of them are going to do it.
We'll see if we're right, folks.
That's right.
Yep.
But fearlessly, we
waded right in.
called it out
Yep.
there. I've got a bunch of other things, but how about you coming out with a couple of things here? What do you got that's bothering you? That's it for Hillary and the election, but I do have a couple of things about our friend Marty Walsh.
Oh, jeepers, yeah. Well, the only good thing about this election, it's going to be the end of Harry Reid's career.
Yeah.
He has advised that he's going to retire the month after the election. And I say good riddance. I think a lot of people in this country agree.
Dreadful man.
He is a dreadful guy. We had talked about this with Romney. He slandered Romney on the floor of the Senate, proved to be wrong, just refused to apologize. He refused to acknowledge it.
Mm-hmm.
He delighted in decisiveness. He just kept everything by partisanship, partisan. Yesterday, the Wall Street Journal had an editorial that said, "Sayonara, Harry Reid." And it's sad, but it's true. Here's a man who had years and years in public service, years in the Senate Majority Leader, Senate Minority Leader, and all the thing the Wall Street Journal can say is goodbye. The fact that here I'll quote this one. Is Mr. Reid leaving the Senate better than he found it? No, but at least he's leaving.
Absolutely.
Not thank you for your service, not good luck in your retirement, anything else. At least he's leaving.
How would you like to have this offer laid on your table tonight? $50 million or every penny that Harry Reid has extorted one way or another through being in office.
Oh, the $50 million would pale.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you know he
pale.
has, now I'm almost positive in saying this, he has all of his boys, and I think he's got 5 sons, they're all lawyers, and they're all lobbyists in Washington.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, can you imagine some senator saying, no, I don't want to see you, Mom, Harry Reid's son.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's different. Come on in and sit down. Put your feet up on the desk. What can I get you?
He's nasty.
He is. Dirty Harry is his nickname.
That was very appropriate. Very, very appropriate.
Yeah.
He's had schemes he's tried to do. He pulls all these kind of things. He thinks of these things to get him. And I don't know how we could have put up with a man like that for so many years.
How did he pull off stopping the nuclear waste?
Yeah, oh yeah.
At Yucca Mountain there, or whatever it is, Yucca Hills or whatever. I mean, he just stopped it, dead in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Himself.
Oh yeah, it went on and on and on with him.
Well, there's still no nuclear waste there.
Yep.
What else you got?
Another one here. We've talked about this before, but it has come up again.
Bears looking at again.
Murders in Chicago soar. Again.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Wall Street Journal. Well, it had a bad weekend this past weekend.
Oh, really?
Yep. 18 of them killed from Friday night to Sunday night.
18.
That's
almost 1,000 a year.
Yeah, at that rate it would be. Right now they were standing at 614 or 624. The last time it hit 600 was 2003 when it was all out gang wars. But again, a lot of them lay it on the Ferguson effect.
Yeah.
And it's just open warfare there right now, and there's no stopping them. They put more police on, but they can't get into it, and the people will not cooperate with the police department.
You know,
they just
in yesterday's Globe, yesterday's Herald, there was, excuse me, an article, 3 mothers in Roxbury on Blue Hill Avenue,
Yep.
pleading that this has got to stop. We have got to come together and come to grips with this and stop these kids from killing each other.
That's right.
But you know what? I tragically, I would bet every penny that I have, no one is listening.
No.
No one.
No one. There's a mindset out there that it's police versus us.
Exactly.
And it's not true. In fact, I've got an article here that shows that they are less biased against the minority populations than biased. It's just the opposite.
Yeah.
But no matter what it is, they can't catch a break, and nobody will step forward, even if they know who did it. For example, nobody will step forward.
Because I don't want to get killed.
Yep.
And that's what would happen, is these gang members would seek out the rat
Yep.
and shoot him or her. And how do you combat that? Well, you got to start by trusting the police. But the police can't protect every snitch.
No.
You can't do it. So it's almost like, how the devil do you combat this? And it's a long haul, but it's education, it's jobs, it's the family unit.
That's a key right there. A mother and a father in the home.
Exactly.
And put some kind of value on stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, in the way the school system is, like in Boston, guess who teaches in the inner city?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that can't get a job out here.
Out here, yeah.
Yeah, so nobody wants to work in Boston. So what they say is, well, you pay me enough and I'll go in there and teach.
Yeah.
Because I can't get a job in Lexington or Franklin or Norfolk. So they go in there and teach. And they go in there at 8 o'clock and hopefully they live till 3:30 and then they go home.
That's right, hopefully.
Yeah.
But right now, Chicago's murder rate is more than New York and L.A. combined.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Not surprised.
It's only up there with Houston and Baltimore.
Yeah. And look, Duane, Rudy Giuliani stopped it in New York. The cops can do it in Chicago, but they have to have the support of the
absolutely.
community. They have to have the support of the courts.
Yep.
And they have to go in there, stop and frisk, and the judges have got to put these kids in reform school.
We got to get rid of some of the judges to start with.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
They need to go to reform school.
They definitely need.
Oh, shoot. What else you got?
You know, we talked about gun control here. I know you're an NRA member, and I agree with you on control that it's dangerous to take the guns away from the civilian population. Very dangerous.
No question.
Here's an article. It says survivors tell of Islamic State brutality, and it's just gross. I'm not even going to get into what these guys were doing.
You can't believe what they do.
Oh, it's beyond. You don't see anything like this on TV.
It's beyond rape,
Oh my God!
mutilation,
it's
and et al.
Yeah, it's getting small children to flog their parents in public.
Yeah.
Whips, you know. But here, the bottom line here, it says a few dozen militants controlled the village near the Islamic State stronghold of Mosul with torture, fear, bureaucracy, regarded some survivors who survived the occupation. This small band were the only ones with weapons, enabling them to exert outsized power over the 7,000 villagers. These 2436 individuals ruled this thing with an iron hand. Killed it at will, murdered.
They had to
Tortured.
keep everybody under control. Yeah.
Nobody could do anything because nobody
Right.
had a weapon.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
That's the dangerous of this.
Yep.
Of this, take the guns away.
If you had an equal amount of guns in the hands of the people,
That's right. This would
that situation could get straightened out
would have been
very
gone,
quickly.
done.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. So,
It's, I get the National Rifle Association magazine every month, and there's a column in there called The Armed Citizen. Someday when I get some really good collection of armed citizen reports, we'll have them on the show and we'll read them. But a typical one, if I were to take one, just a common one is 71-year-old man awakened at 3 in the morning by someone trying to kick in his back door. Got up, got his weapon, went downstairs,
Yep.
and here was a deranged knucklehead who took a shot at him. The homeowner fired and killed him. Well, let me tell you, there's a little justice for you.
sure is.
And that happens time and time and time again. Either that or the homeowner fires a shot and the bad guy runs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But in this state, if you fire a shot at somebody breaking into your house, you'll probably go to jail.
Well, that's changed a little bit in that we don't have to run away from the bad guys anymore.
I got one other thing here. Let's just change the subject a little. That's price of drugs today. What's happening? We were all shocked with the EpiPen injectors. Then something else showed up, and something else showed up. And we've recently, my wife is going to have a cataract surgery. And so she was to pick up 2 eye drops. She got to the drugstore. They were $400. $400. And of course, the insurance ain't going to pay for this. They said, "Oh no, we don't pay for that." So she went back to the doctor's office and talked to him. She said, "Is there anything else?" And he said, "Well, we could prescribe you the generic instead of the name brand." You know how much the generics were?
$6.
$27.
Yeah.
$400 to $27 just for the same drug, but generic.
Yeah. If you took out a gun and shot the eye doctor, that would be justifiable homicide.
I said, how you can do? And here's one that the other day in the Wall Street Journal really irritated me. Pricey pills mask cheap ingredients.
Sure.
Here's a drug, common one, called, and I'm terrible at drug names, so this one I can almost pronounce, Trexamet.
Okay.
Trexamet is for migraine pain. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV or nothing. But what it is, it's simply taken 2 other drugs that are already on the market for a long time, common stuff that's been around, put them together, make a new drug out of it with a new name. Cost $729. Now, the article here says you can go and buy the other 2 items that this is combined in off the shelf.
For $4.
Oh, no, $19.
19.
So they take two drugs that are worth $19, put them together into one pill, and charge $729 for it.
Do you know on Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy,
Yeah.
where you got that guy it's always a guy too. I've got atrophy or some damn thing, and but I'm going to give it my best. I can't do like I used to do, but I'm going to give it my best. And I said to myself,
seen that guy,
if there's something better out there than Coumadin, I want to know about it. And then he finds something else. I take Coumadin every day.
Yep.
I take the generic version, and a 90-day supply costs me, I don't know, $4 or $5.
It's an old drug.
Yeah. So this new drug, 30-day supply, I believe, is $190.
Oh, easy that.
And I don't think it's any more effective than Coumadin.
It's not. No, it's not. But Arnie Palmer was advertising
Yeah,
it.
sure.
And the race car driver. And
Didn't do Arnie any good, did it?
Didn't sure do it, not him. But it just goes on here. There's one here for $2,061. Cost you the ingredients? $20.
You know, this is one of the rare moments when Elizabeth Warren makes sense to me. That, we got to do something about this. This is crazy.
Well, Europe has clamped down on this.
Yeah.
They put controls on this kind of stuff. And as soon as you mention controls right away, they say, well, you're going to stifle the research.
Yeah.
Well, come on. You're asking for controls with this stuff going on like this.
That's right. That's right. It's insanity. It's obscene. Gosh. Well, Marty Walsh is, I don't know. I think he's losing it badly. But before Marty, let's do something else.
Okay.
Snippets from the yearbook. And
That picture is just unbelievable.
Here's Ms. Abedin with her husband, Mr. Weiner, as the class couple. And here's Hillary, voted most cuddly and sweetest.
Oh, boy. Yep.
So take a good look at that at home, folks, when Chris cues it up. Good stuff. And this is the only show that you'll find stuff like this on.
I got to tell you something. She's going to hate me. She'll kill me. But the other day I said, when he talked about Mr. Weiner there, I said, Weiner? I said, most of those that spell it that way have changed it over the last couple of years to Weiner.
Yeah.
And my wife says, with him, it's very appropriate.
How could she live with a guy that sends nude pictures of himself to a 15-year-old girl?
I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Here's one thing, though. We just about mentioned Walsh. There's a lawyers group, and they donate a lot of money to the Democratic cause.
Oh, yes.
Thornton Law Firm.
Yeah. Big write-up in the Globe.
Yeah. And now it's kind of blowing up because they've been doing something that's shady. Not sure if it's legal or not. Like, I call it double dipping.
Well, if it's legal, it's still unethical.
It's unethical, for sure. Well, anyway, Walsh, Clinton, Healy, and Goldberg have vowed to send back the donations they've gotten. That's fine and good. Some were $6,000, some were $8,000, some were $12,000. Guess who says no? Not until I proved
yes, I
that
saw
it's illegal.
the paper today. Granny. Granny
Hiawatha,
Warren.
Yeah. Hiawatha, not Hiawatha. What they used to what Howie Carr called it. It was fake Indian and
Chief lies a lot, or
something like that.
God, he's got
well, she got $129,250 from him.
Yeah, I wonder why she doesn't want to send them back.
I'm not giving it back until they prove it it's illegal. Not that there's anything ethical. She just ignores that part.
Oh yeah.
How do you just sit there and even Walsh, Clinton, Healy, Goldberg, they didn't want anything to do with it.
By the way, how about the club at Harvard that rates the women's athletes as to sexual attractiveness and gives ratings to them all and then publishes it in that foolish newspaper, the Harvard newspaper.
Yep.
Has Senator Warren complained about that or said anything about that at all?
Nope, not at all.
Maybe she hasn't been reading the papers lately. But isn't that an outrage against women? And I haven't heard candidate Clinton speak out in strident terms about that either. Well, that must be too hot to handle?
I guess.
Wow. Well, Marty Walsh has really done it. And Chris, I'll give you this for you to insert on the screen as I talk about it. But this is Marty Walsh at a dog park. They opened up. And if you take a look at all the phony politicians in the whole line across there, who's the only one looking at the camera?
Yep.
Marty Walsh.
With that?
All the rest of them are looking at their dogs or laughing or acting like quasi-normal, I guess, people for politicians. But Marty is standing right there, mugging it up for the camera. What a guy.
There's not a camera that he doesn't like.
Man, I'll tell you. But you know, Marty is, I think, is going to make a big mistake here. They want to establish a czar for homeless people, a homeless czar.
Okay.
And Marty's all in favor of it.
Oh,
because,
absolutely. Look at the camera, the photo ops.
And also, the czar will be a political appointment, and the czar will have to have a staff. Good jobs for deserving people, and Marty's got a whole bunch of them that deserve good jobs.
He's got a whole list that he wants to put on there.
But by the same token, as he is supporting this for the homeless, he wants to change City Hall around to the tune of $100 million because it is the ugliest edifice on the face of the earth, Boston City Hall. But a contractor looking at this, a planner looking at this,
that's right,
says it could probably cost us $300 million if we do it the way we want to. So he closes a homeless refuge out on Long Island because the bridge is weak.
Gone,
of course, people could walk across the bridge, but no vehicles going across the bridge. So people are thrown out into the street in the middle of winter last year. But now he wants to spend between $100 and $300 million to spruce up City Hall.
Yeah, well, it's the Massachusetts way.
I mean,
it's the Boston way.
Let's see. Now, what could be his reason for that? There'll be a lot of contract work. That means a lot of union jobs rebuilding this.
You see something here, connection here to be able to do your
I don't know. Maybe if we struggle with this, we can come up with something. But boy, I'll tell you, Marty is, he's quite the guy. Got another story in here. MBTA managers have been accused of billing errors.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
And of the 6 that were jacked up for not doing their job properly, 5 of them retired, and one of them...
quickly, you know.
Yeah, very quickly. So they got their retirement and mismanagement.
Yep.
So, you know, the governor wants to bring in outside help for the MBTA and privatize some of this stuff.
Even the janitorial staff.
Yeah. But, you know, I don't know, but I'll be willing to bet you every single nickel I got in my pocket that these 6 managers were not qualified to be handling financial affairs.
Of course not.
And they were ex-union guys with seniority that got kicked up the ladder, and they
got their, most of them got the job. I don't know today, but it used to be. And I suspect there's a still element. You didn't get a job on the MBTA just by your qualifications.
You had to know somebody
You had to know somebody. Somebody said, you either know somebody or you put a $10,000 check hooked to your application.
One or the other. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, when you get people like accounting firms that can come in and do this, And instead they've got motormen or drivers or maintenance workers that have gotten promoted into this stuff. They don't know what and then there's problems. I mean, there's stuff in the examples of, there's a couple of them in here. Well, here's an outfit that was paid about $590,000. They found nearly 4,000 billing errors that did not match the records.
Yep.
How can you possibly do that? 66 out of 78 accounts had not been charged for electricity in 2 years.
Yeah, that's right.
12 had never been billed.
It's unbelievable.
It just goes on
mind-boggling.
and on like that. Jeepers creepers. Well, I went to the book fair in Boston over the weekend.
Yep.
Old books, autographs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Collectible stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 90 dealers. I had a lot of fun, saw a lot of stuff. My son and I used to watch the old Sherlock Holmes films from the late 30s and the 40s. Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce. So, probably 8 to 10 years ago. It had to have been when I was still collecting autographs. I saw a 5x7 signed photograph of Basil Rathbone for sale, $75. Mm-hmm. I hemmed and hawed, and I eventually said, I don't know. Patrick would like it. He'd get a big kick out of it for Christmas, but I don't know. Well, anyway, guess what? Into the show, Basil Rathbone. 5x7 autograph picture of him. Very nice, big, bold signature. $1,000.
Whoa.
Yowza! I said to myself, look at the money we lost.
That's right.
Yeah. Of course, who knows whether the guy got that money or not. I'm sure he probably would. If I said, I only got $600 sold.
I'll take it.
But a couple of other things I was interested in there too.
These were like old books and first editions and things like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were.
I don't know enough about that genre to even try to go there to buy anything.
Nor do I. But I know a couple of things I like that I do pick up when I see them. But Earl Stanley Gardner, Perry Mason, first edition, just nothing special, just the first edition, of something from the mid-'60s. Very nice shape, beautiful shape. $275. Yiminy.
I wish I would have saved comic books when I was a kid. I had boxes of them.
They were worth a lot of money.
Yep. Oh, it's amazing.
Lots of money. Once again, and this opens up a little bit of Pandora's box here. Well, I'm going to skip to this one.
Okay.
About face on legwear dress code at Boston Latin School.
Boston Latin Schools.
And the girls are saying, we want to wear leggings. And they're like yoga pants.
Yeah,
I mean, they're like they're spray painted on them, you know? I tell you what, if some Hollywood starlet ever starts going to school naked or something, every single girl will follow the same thing and go to school naked. But they wear less and less. But you know what? This is so stupid for Boston Latin School to get involved in this.
That's right.
Instead of simply saying, we're going to have uniforms. That's it. That's the beginning and the end of the story.
Yep.
Navy blue slacks, a white blouse, or a white shirt, and that's it.
Yep.
One size fits all. That's what the boys wear, that's what the girls wear.
I know.
And if the girls want to wear a skirt, that's fine. But that's it. And just get the uniform, and that would also ease off the strain on parents for the daily fashion show.
I was going to mention that.
And some of the
now
girls,
it saves them a lot of money.
right? Some of the girls that come from middle-class families that don't have the wherewithal to buy 3 outfits a month.
They want to try to keep up, or all of a sudden they feel that they're
they feel inadequate,
Yep.
and the other girls are mean too.
Oh my God!
And they rag on them, and oh, look at the little orphan Annie over there. That's a cute outfit, honey. Where'd you buy that? Salvation Army. So you just open up another avenue for bullying.
It saves a lot of problems.
It does.
Yep.
It saves a lot of problems. But you know who'd be against it?
Oh yes.
The mothers that want their daughters to go to school looking like princesses.
My daughter, the popular one.
Yep. Here's an interesting one from Joe Fitzgerald. This doctor, Dr. Kligler, is suffering from a brutal form of cancer and wants to end his life. And Joe Fitzgerald makes the point that we take our dogs that we love very much and take them to the vets and say, put a shot in them and put them down. And yet we tell Uncle Fred or Dad or Mom, gut it out, keep smiling, fight that cancer. When Dad or Mom is ready to let it go and wants to let it go.
I've always had a problem with that, because if the pain level is so bad and there is no hope of recovery, it's just a matter of torture.
You're just wasting away on a daily basis when the doctors say there is no hope.
Yep.
Then I should think that at that point in time, it's up to the individual.
Yep.
And if the individual has his wits about him, or has made a living will for the son or daughter, and it says, when I can't cope and I'm in such brutal pain, please have the doctor yank the cord.
Yep.
It makes too much sense not to do it that way, I'll tell you. Folks,
I agree with you there.
yeah,
Totally.
we have been given the sign that this chapter in the Bill Crane report is now ready to be sent to the Library of Congress.
Remember, if you were seeing this before Veterans Day, the Senior Center has a Veterans Breakfast on the 11th.
That's
For
right.
all veterans, friends, and family.
And if you'd like to sign up for it, 528-4430.
Yep.
And just tell them you'd like to sign up for the free breakfast, 9 a.m.
There will be entertainment, too.
That's exactly right.
Other than Bill and I.
Yeah, right. You can talk to us.
All right. Yeah.
Folks will stay home now.
Hope to see you guys there.
Friends, good night.
Take care.